Phineas and Ferb is arguably the most iconic duo of modern cartoons. With their endless summer adventures and unforgettable cast, they've left a trail of pop culture references that are just chef's kiss. Today, we're diving deep into the ultimate crossover universe. From hidden cameos to unexpected shoutouts, you're about to see how the Phineas and Ferb verse sneaks its way into other shows, games, comics, and even graffiti art. Yup, you heard that right. So, grab your platypus hat and let's jump into this wild multiverse ride. First comes all of the TV shows that have mentioned Phineas and Ferb. Whether it be a crossover or some subtle nods, we are going to go through them all. First, let's start with the infamous SpongeBob. In the SpongeBob episode Squid Plus One, SpongeBob casually drops a line.
What you doing?
Now, where have we heard it before? Oh yes, it's the famous catchphrase used by Garcia Shapiro, the famous character from Phineas and Ferb. What a sly nod from the creator. Over on Mad TV, we have a sketch named The Straight A-Team. We can see multiple appearances by Phineas and Ferb. For when Phineas tells Ferb,
Hey Ferb, I know what we're gonna do today. Make a better science project on the Straight A-Team.
and then make a black hole recycling bin, class overachievers. The absurdity of Phineas and Ferb's inventions in the Mad TV sketch mirrors their creations in the original show, such as the time they built a portal to Mars. Even James Bond couldn't escape a Phineas and Ferb cameo. In the Mad sketch, James Bond Reply All, Perry the Platypus makes a sneaky appearance while Bond is on the trail of Silva. Bond can be seen helping Appant P escape from Silva's hold. In another Mad sketch titled Dolphinius and Ferb Tale, we can see the appearance of both Phineas and Ferb as they help the injured dolphin fly. In the series The Fairly Odd Parents, we have an episode Scary God Couple, where Vicky says,
I don't know what's going on, but you are so busted!
as she tries to bust Timmy with his father. Does this scene ring any bells? Don't worry if you didn't recognize the scene, because that is what we are here for. This is a remake of the scene when Candace tries to bust Phineas and Ferb by saying the same. There is also a crossover between Phineas and Ferb and Star Wars. This entire episode brought the best of both worlds to us. Nothing better than seeing Ferb like this.
Warriors, join me on the dark side, brother.
In the My Little Pony episode, Hearth's Warming Tale, eagle-eyed viewers can spot a Perry the Platypus plush. Subtle, yet unmistakable, a little Easter egg for fans of both universes. In the show Milo Murphy's Law, we can see Dr. Doofenshmirtz appear in the episode Fungus Among Us, and can be seen helping Milo Murphy build a time machine. And guess what? Perry the Platypus also makes an appearance in the episode. On atop the fourth wall, we can see a review of Phineas and Ferb, Mission Marvel.
Let's dig into Phineas and Ferb, Mission Marvel, and see just how long people are able to view this episode.
In a Family Guy episode titled Movin' In, we can see Chris Griffin has worked on a fan fiction depicting Phineas and Ferb. Or however, he says,
Well, what about Phineas and Ferb erotic fanfiction?
Now that is interesting. Read it to me while I eat my soup.
Ferb was having a throbby morning. Phineas was having none of it.
Oh.
well, this was to be expected from Chris if you ask me. In the Big City Greens episode Present Tense, a birthday party was hosted for Remy at an arcade, and in a claw machine, we can see a Perry the Platypus plushie. We can see multiple occasions where characters and places from the Phineas and Ferb verse appear on the show Chibi Tiny Tales, like this short episode of Chibi Tiny Tales where a different version of Danville, Phineas, Ferb, Perry, and others is seen. In Hamster and Gretel, there are multiple references to Phineas and Ferb. For example, in this episode called The Opposite of Smart, where Sally from Phineas and Ferb can be seen eating lunch at a table. We can also see appearances by various other Phineas and Ferb characters like the farmer and his wife in different Hamster and Gretel episodes, like A Mammoth Problem. In another episode titled Finding Professor X, there is a scene where Hamster receives pictures from someone. But can you guess who is in the pictures? Yup, it's Candace and Stacy from Phineas and Ferb. In Random Rings, we can once again see Dr. Doofenshmirtz. This time he is talking with Hamster and Gretel on the phone. In a Perfect Cell vs. episode called Perfect Cell vs. Perry the Platypus, we can see a parody of
Perry, the secret agent from that one cartoon show, The Adventures of Phyllis and Fernando.
In another Gravity Falls episode, Little Dipper, we see the skeletal remains of a unicorn turtle as a table for a chessboard. And if you think that this looks familiar, then it might be because you have seen this unicorn turtle in Phineas and Ferb. In the show The Middle, there is an episode where a girl named Ashley responds to having a meet for the cheerleading team on Friday with this.
I guess this is more of a time commitment than I expected. I watch Phineas and Ferb.
On the famous TV show, Shark Tank, there is a segment where Dr. Doofenshmirtz can be seen pitching his Shrinkinator. You have to admit, he gave one hell of a pitch.
Tell me why I should invest in you.
Because, Robert, I am a dreamer, and my dream is to take over the entire tri-state area!
Phineas and Ferb also appear in the show Extreme Makeover, Home Edition, when they help the team shrink a house using the shrink ray. In the show Psych, we have an episode, The Amazing Psych Man and Tap Man, Issue 2. We can see Swan Spencer being questioned at a crime scene when he says,
"All right, I'm done wasting everyone's time. Besides, I'm missing a Phineas and Ferb marathon." Perry the Platypus. He's a real platypus.
In another Psych episode, Feet Don't Kill Me Now, we can see Swan Spencer saying,
Well, let's see, I watched some Phineas and Ferb, took a nap, had a snack. I'm a little tired.
Exactly.
In Camp Lake Bottom episode, Ride the Haunted Howler, when McGee looks at one of the Haunted Howler's mirrors, he looks like Buford from Phineas and Ferb. In the Amazing World of Gumball, in the episode The Shell, we can see Gumball saying,
No, I just have really sweaty eyes.
Which is the same line Buford from Phineas and Ferb says. In a Modern Family episode Double Click, we can see that Gloria's DVR is full of cartoons. And guess what? We even have Perry the Porcupine here. In Family Guy The Big Bang Theory, we can see Stewie telling Brian that he's too tired. But what is the reason behind all this? Maybe this.
You know what's cool? Lois let me stay up till 7:30 last night to watch Phineas and Ferb. Ugh, I'm so tired from staying up that late.
Now let's move on from TV shows and dive into some movies that have referenced Phineas and Ferb. In the Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers movie released in 2022, we have a cameo appearance of Linda Flynn Fletcher selling cupcakes on Main Street. And of course, how can we forget games? Since games make up a majority of any franchise, they are the prime place to advertise. Maybe that is why we can see so many instances where the Phineas and Ferb franchise has been referenced in games. From memes featuring his famous fedora to gifs of him dramatically entering his lair, Agent P is everywhere. He's even made his mark in the mobile gaming world, with appearances in games as well. For example, there is an exclusive game by the name Agent P Doofendash. In this endless runner, themed boards featured Perry-inspired graphics, allowing fans to dash through platypus-approved landscapes. Whether he's fighting evil or just chilling as the internet's favorite semi-aquatic mammal, Agent P's legacy is truly unstoppable. Now let's talk about Pop Tropica. This quirky online game featured a special advertisement mission for the Phineas and Ferb Christmas Vacation episode. Completing it doesn't just give you a warm holiday feeling, it also rewards you with a Ferb outfit, because nothing says festive like dressing up as the quieter Flynn Fletcher brother. In another ad for Disney XD in Pop Tropica, where there are some cardboard cutouts of Phineas and Ferb characters, Disney Channel All-Star Party is a star-studded video game that brings together characters from various Disney Channel shows. Guess who made their way into this exclusive club? That's right, Phineas and Ferb. While they aren't the central focus of the game, it's still a treat to see them join forces with other Disney icons. Players could engage in mini-games and challenges, with our favorite summer masterminds casually hanging out in the background. This appearance reminds us that Phineas and Ferb don't always need to steal the show. Their mere presence brings a wave of nostalgia and fun to the mix. They might not have been in the spotlight this time, but let's face it, even in a supporting role, they're still scene stealers. Disney Universe took things up a notch, letting players embody their favorite characters with costumes of Candace, Dr. Doofenshmirtz, and the fan favorite Agent P. Who wouldn't want to waddle around as Perry the Platypus while saving the day? When the popular mobile game Where's My Water teamed up with Phineas and Ferb, the result was the game Where's My Perry, a crossover masterpiece. Fans were thrilled to see Perry the Platypus, aka Agent P, step into the spotlight, navigating puzzles and defeating traps set by Dr. Doofenshmirtz. It wasn't just a one-off appearance. This game featured tons of fan-favorite characters, including Major Monogram, adding a whole new level of excitement to an already addictive game. The combination of Perry's cool-headed spy antics with Swampy's curious charm made for a dynamic duo in the mobile gaming universe. Plus, seeing Dr. Doofenshmirtz try to outwit players was a comedic bonus. In a trailer for the crossover game, Where's My Mickey?, we see Perry the Platypus and Swampy the Alligator meet again. This time, the iconic Disney mascot himself, Mickey Mouse, joins the fun. Watching these three legends share the screen feels like a mini Disney reunion. In the Just Dance series of games by Ubisoft, we can see a feature song called SIMP. Now, you must be wondering what SIMP means, right? Well, it stands for Squirrels in My Pants. Yes, the song's from Phineas and Ferb, another not-so-subtle nod to the Phineas and Ferb universe. So why not just groove to
There's squirrels in my pants!
Tell me what's making you jump like that. SIMP, squirrels in my pants.
Whether you're a dance game pro or just here for the laughs, this crossover proves that the show's legacy extends far beyond summer vacations. With a Phineas and Ferb twist? Sign us up. The exclusive Agent P card adds a dash of platypus-powered fun to this classic card game. Seriously, why play regular when you can do it with Perry as your wingman? Imagine zipping through whimsical tracks as Phineas, Ferb, or Agent P. In Disney's crossover racing game, these iconic characters take the driver's seat, literally. Watching Agent P race while keeping his cool is a whole mood. The sandbox video game Disney Infinity lets you explore endless worlds. And yes, Phineas and Ferb are along for the ride. Whether you're battling enemies or just vibing in the sandbox, these two bring their signature summer fun to the game. In the online game Balam Platform Defense, a balloon windmill can be seen, which is the one made by Lawrence Fletcher Robot in Phineas and Ferb. In the online game Disney XD Mystery Morphing Masks on Roblox, players can morph into iconic Disney characters, including none other than Perry the Platypus. This nod to Phineas and Ferb brings the mystery-solving charm right into the Roblox universe. We can also see characters from Phineas and Ferb in the Disney XD Villains Unite video game, like this one mission here where you as Perry the Platypus have to fight Dr. Doofenshmirtz's robot. The Phineas and Ferb verse has also been seen to sneak into comics multiple times, so let's see some of the comics that have referenced Phineas and Ferb. In the Lola comic, we can see Lola consoling Phineas on a park bench saying, "You can't be the only one with triangle head syndrome." I doubt that, Lola. I think he is the only one. In the Adam at Home comic, we can see the kids enjoying Phineas and Ferb. Well, they are not the only ones who enjoy watching that show. We can see another mention of Phineas and Ferb when Adam is asked what he believes in, and he says, "Phineas is nothing without Ferb." In the Theater Hopper webcomic, we can see Tom ranting about Harry Potter being a children's show, and then proceeds to say, "Now, if you'll excuse me, Phineas and Ferb is about to start." Well, at least Tom has good taste in cartoons. In another webcomic, Dork Tower, we can see Perry making another cameo. In the comic Brewster Rocket, Space Guy, we can see a cameo appearance by Dr. Doofenshmirtz. In another comic, Real Life, we can see Phineas and Ferb being mentioned when Greg and Liz are describing how great Phineas and Ferb is. In the comic Penny Arcade's release titled Proven Strategies, we can see Gabe's son wearing a Perry the Platypus shirt. These subtle nods to Phineas and Ferb make everything even more intriguing. In another comic Suggy Freelance, we can see Balheat from Phineas and Ferb make a cameo appearance. Up until now, we have seen all of the TV shows, movies, games, and comics that have referenced Phineas and Ferb, but it does not end here. We can also see Phineas and Ferb in some interviews, music videos, and even promo videos for sports events. In The Late Late Show with Craig Ferguson, the guest for an episode says,
I've had the Phineas and Ferb theme song in my head all day.
And to be honest, we all relate with this guy, because we all know it's time to watch Phineas and Ferb when you hear,
"There's 101 days of summer vacation."
In a music video for Sidney Sampson's song Riverside, we notice that the entire video is full of graffiti art. However, there is something peculiar on these walls as well, and that is Phineas and Ferb. Yes, we can see Phineas and Ferb painted on one of the walls in the background. Now, the question is, what were Phineas and Ferb doing in Riverside? I guess we will never know. We can also see Phineas and Ferb in a promo video for the 2010 Los Angeles Marathon. When asked what their favorite mile is, this is their answer.
I guess my favorite mile would have to be the last one, because you can see the roller coaster at the pier the whole way down to the finish line. But Ferb can't stop going on and on about how much he loves Hollywood.
We can even see a feature of the famous song SIMP, also known as Squirrels in My Pants, from Phineas and Ferb in the 2010 NBA Finals. Quite a crossover between the two, isn't it? In the Los Angeles Dodgers, we can see Phineas and Dr. Doofenshmirtz sing the Code of Conduct, while Ferb is seen taking pictures in the stadium.
Just fire away these simple rules and we're all guaranteed to have a splendid time.
Look who's talking about rules here. A full-length musical parody of Phineas and Ferb was performed at the University of Maryland, Baltimore. This creative musical caught the Phineas and Ferb creators' attention as well. And there you have it. Phineas, Ferb, Perry, and the whole gang leaving their triangular footprints across the worlds of TV, gaming, comics, and even real life. It's a testament to how much these characters have influenced pop culture in ways big and small. Which one of these cameos or crossovers surprised you the most? Drop your favorites in the comments below. And hey, don't forget to like and subscribe for more cartoon deep dives. After all, if we've learned one thing today, it's that every day is another opportunity to spot a sneaky Perry cameo. See you in the next adventure.